Being long-time fans of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we wanted to do a top 5 characters we want to see in the next film. However, we were so disappointed with Out of the Shadows that we've decided to do a video on characters we want to see in the next film that will potentially save the franchise. It looks like the third film is on the horizon, which it's Hollywood, so why not? Apparently we need to have 3 films to absolutely destroy a franchise for everybody. But hopefully we'll get to see some new characters in there, and this won't be a repeat of some other trilogies, and the third one may be great. So let's get to it. Number 5. Did I mention this was a top 5? This is a top 5. I don't think I said that before, but this is a top 5 characters we want to see save Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. That I probably should have said that before. I could have gone with a different number. There was too many characters. We just rounded it off to 5. It was easier. So number 5. Genghis Frog. A majority of the villains and allies throughout the whole franchise, be it comics or 90s TV series, cartoon, or even film, are mutated animals. Tends to fit well. There's no reason to fix what's not broken, or whatever that phrase is. So we're starting up number 5 with Genghis Frog. Now he's part of a punk frog group that in the 90s cartoon Shredder created. And let's be honest, what could be better than a punk frog fighting Ninja Turtles? Sounds like number 3 could really work. So the most well-known origins for these characters was Shredder creating mutant frogs to fight mutant turtles. Not sure how, or that's not a great plan. But the Genghis Frog was the first toy to be created out of the clan, and hence being why the most popular. We don't feel like the whole clan will be needed in the next film. If they were going to use them, it would overcrowd an already crowded mutant animal film that doesn't really know what it's doing with its characters anyway. So focusing on one most popular would probably be the best. These particular characters, or this particular character individually, would probably work and shine a bit more light on Shredder that's needed after the last outing. Give Shredder some purpose, but also would make for a nice team up with the Turtles towards the end, possibly. Number 4, General Tragg, or however you pronounce it. For the sake of the video, I'm going to call him General Tragg. If I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, then correct me. I'm more familiar with the comics, so I just read it how it says in my head, and I haven't watched a 90s cartoon since I was a kid, so just correct me if I'm wrong. But for this video, General Tragg from Dimension X and loyal to Krang in almost every variation. Completely made out of rock and stone. It would make a formidable foe to fighting the Turtles, and make a nice break from a foe that's not an evil ninja or a mutated animal in some way. Being that Krang was our most favourite part of Out of the Shadows, this General Tragg or Tragg would probably be a nice way to bring Krang back into the films, into the franchise. Without Krang appearing so quickly and leaving so quickly, we may get to see him getting someone to come in and do his dirty work for him before appearing towards the end. It would be a shame if we didn't see Krang again in the next film, purely because, again, we said that he was really the only outstanding part of Out of the Shadows. Also, General Tragg's toy from the 90s TV series was phenomenal. All the different rock types, and the fact that he wears a helmet, even though he's made out of rock and he doesn't need to wear a helmet, it makes no sense. But it was a brilliant toy. Google it. It's a great toy. Look it up. It's a good toy. Look it up. It's a good toy. Number 3, Metalhead. I think we've seen Metalhead ourselves in every Turtle adaptation, or anything that we've seen from the 90s cartoon series he was in. He's appeared in the latest TV show that the Turtles appear in. He's been in the IDW comics. He's an AI robot turtle that knows everything about the Turtles, fighting styles, and in whichever version you watch, the Turtles are forced to battle him at some point for whatever reason. The only thing about putting something like this in is, do we need another Transformers-like part going with the Technodrome being very Transformers-like? Do we need it to be leaning on any other franchise again for popularity? Saying that, it would be cool to see the Turtles fighting a metal turtle version of themselves that has a metal shell built in for no reason, because he's made out of metal, so he doesn't need a shell to protect him. But at least it makes him and helps him fit in. I guess that's why they put it on the back of him in every version. But he looks good. It looks good. Number 2, Slash. And this was a difficult one. I was going to go Leatherhead, but we decided on Slash instead. Mainly because Slash is a mutated snapper turtle, we believe, and wears a really awesome black mask instead of a coloured one. So similar to the Turtles, mutated, but has a much, much worse attitude. Depending on which variation you've seen or read, he begins with lower intelligence, takes a little bit of time to build up, get to where our main turtle heroes are, but for whatever reason has a vendetta or a problem with the Turtles which forces them to fight. In this franchise, I want to avoid using the term making it darker, but this could probably focus more on a darker mutated animal to fight the Turtles, going on the back of Out of the Shadows with Bebop and Rocksteady. We could get a more gritty and more fearsome animal or creature to fight the Turtles. And again, he wears a black bandana, a torn black bandana. He looks really good with spikes, and he's a snapper turtle, and he fights, and he's huge. He's really cool. Number 1, the Rat King. One of my problems with the first and second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles films is we're not seeing Splinter's full potential. We need to see how he was able to train 4 turtles using a book to become incredible ninjas, or at least be able to fight the way they do. So why not show this by having Splinter mind controlled and forced to fight the Turtles by someone called the Rat King? In a nutshell, the Rat King's able to control rats with his mind, make them do what he's got to do. He's very creepy, and in some of the more modern variations at least, attempts to take over Splinter, that's his main goal. The 90s cartoon variation, it's very dumbed down. The toy was cool, wore a green bandana around his nose. He looks very, very 90s, very cartoon. Some of the later variations, and very much so the early Mirage Comics versions as well, extremely creepy, really creepy. Especially the 2012 Nickelodeon version of the Rat King. It's for kids, so creepy. However, this would move amazingly into the films and give us a new villain that can really strike fear into the Turtles, pose an incredible threat to them. Just imagine a villain that can turn their own father against them, their own worst nightmares, to fight them. The story writes itself. It'll be a great story. The Rat King definitely deserves number 1 spot on this list. Now we're going to do a wild card. Wild card for us is a villain that we would want as fans, but will probably not happen. So more of a fan want than a realistic outcome. So for us, our wild card, after going through numerous villains and characters to appear, the wild card is definitely going to be Dark Leonardo. in the comics, we explore a deeper origin for the Turtles. It involves ancient Japan, past lives. This leads to an amazing storyline where Shredder actually captures, mind controls, manipulates Leonardo, convincing Leonardo that he will be Shredder's future successor, and ultimately turning him against the Turtles and Splinter. This idea would open up a good rivalry and between Karai, who we didn't see much of again in the last film, and really a character that needs exploring. It would allow us to see more of Shredder and how much he's able to manipulate, how much of a warrior Shredder actually is, and give him something to actually be feared. An evil version of Leonardo would pose a true threat, being that he knows everything about the Turtles, everything about Splinter. Just imagine Leonardo wearing a cool black mask, decked out with new weapons, new armour, leading the Foot Clan through the sewers towards the Turtle lair. Again, we don't think this is going to happen by any means, but it will throw a nice spin on conventional storyline, conventional villains that may appear in the next Turtles. They'll just be looking for a new villain. It will just be another Shredder version. Krang may come back again, but this they could really surprise the audience with this one and actually tell a good story with this and sell twice as many Leonardo toys, the normal one and the Dark Leonardo toy. But there you go. That's our thoughts anyway on characters that we want to see. If you have any other ideas, or if you think we missed anybody, or that we was wrong about anything, or I pronounced anything wrong, or I got any of the backstories incorrect, which I doubt very much, comment below and we'll get back to you. Find us on Twitter at GotSomeClips. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. If you like the video, give us a like. If you like these top 5 or top whatever number I decide to do next time on whatever subject I want to do, like the video, let us know. And for more videos like this, reviews, gaming reviews, and also just generally gaming clips, files, don't forget to subscribe. Should I sign off by saying cowabunga? I feel like I should say cowabunga. No? No? Is that too cheesy?